So, hello. I wanted to talk today a little bit about to do lists. Now, I am not a big fan of to do lists. I mean, sure, they help us get things done, but most to do lists don't contemplate or ask us to consider whether things are actually important or if they help us move the ball forward to a place that we actually want to be. And worse yet, um, we sometimes put things on a to do list just so we can check them off. Um, Raise your hand if you have put something on a to do list, maybe even after you finished it, just so you could check it off. I've done it, I'm sure I'm not the only one. But the biggest problem with to do lists, in my opinion, is that they often serve to distract us from doing the things that really matter. And I know that when there's something that I think will be difficult to do, I sometimes procrastinate and I avoid the process pain of tackling something that I think will be difficult. But I don't like to feel unproductive, so I will make a to do list and get to work doing things on that to do list. And it makes me feel good, yet I'm not accomplishing anything that matters much. Now, sometimes we believe we can't build our dreams because we have too many other obligations and so we don't have time. And I fall into that trap sometimes still. And I was attending the Independent Women Virtual Summit this weekend, which I recommend. And one of the speakers, Rose Chastain, was presenting on business growth and practices. And in response to a question from one of the women who was lamenting that she did not have time to grow her business because of all the other obligations that she had, Rose suggested that the questioner make a long list of all the things that she needed to do and that she needed to get done, and then to assess whether all of those things really must happen. Now, I love this idea, in part because I often feel like I have too much to do. And when I write it all down, I usually find one of two things. Either I don't actually have too much to do in the time that I have. And so if I plan properly and work efficiently, I can actually do it all. That is not normally the case. Usually I find that I do, in fact, have too much to do for the amount of time that I have. So I can get all the things that are important accomplished with proper planning. So this is similar, if you've watched my time transformation webinar, this is similar to what I call a 168 hours exercise, which I explore in that webinar and in my book. And the heart of that exercise is for us to realize and accept that we all have 168 hours in a week. So if you have more than 168 hours worth of stuff that you want to do each week, you're going to have to make some choices. You're going to either not do some things, or you're going to have someone else do some things that are on this list, or you're going to figure out a way to do them better and more efficiently so that you can get more of the items done in the time that you have. So this leads me to a helpful way that we can use to-do lists. And I like to call it a distraction list. And I got this idea from a guided meditation that I was doing on the same day that I attended the Independent Women Summit. And when you're trying to focus on a task, but you feel yourself being distracted by all of these other obligations that you have to do, whether that's like making doctor's appointments or cooking dinner or cleaning the house or trimming the dog's nails or calling your mom or unsubscribing from emails that you're not interested in anymore, cleaning out your inbox. There's so many things that need to be done all the time. So whenever you feel yourself being distracted by those other things, write them down on your distraction list, which will also be your to-do list. And then you can turn back to those things later, so they don't pull you away from what you're doing at the moment. And that has two benefits. One, you have a place to keep these things so that you don't forget them. And two, you have time later, not in the moment, when you can assess before you spend the time doing them whether they're really important and they're things that you need to do. So I did this and I tried it out. And I listed 45 items. Some of them are big, some of them are little. And of the 45, there were only 7 items that only I can do. And in no particular order, they were practicing piano, yoga, running, lifting weights, spending time with friends, sleeping, and learning and practicing Spanish. Now, of those 7 things, there's only one that I really must do, and that's sleep. No one else can sleep for me, and I can't just not sleep. That's not healthy. So the rest, the other 6, I could choose not to do. They're not necessary, but I believe they are important, so they'll stay on my list. Then of the 45 items, there were 8 more that I want to do myself. I could hire someone else to do these 8 things that I'm about to tell you, but I don't want to because I want to do them. So they are planning my daughter's birthday party, walking my dogs, picking out new glasses. I need a new prescription. I can barely see anymore. Writing a blog post, writing my social media posts, writing my weekly newsletter, developing a new webinar, and creating new video content, which I'm doing right now. So like I said, I could hire someone to do all of those things, but I want to do them because I enjoy doing them. So that's 15 out of my 45. The remaining 30 items on my list either cannot be done or I can hire someone else to do them. There are things like cleaning my carpet. Been wanting to do that for a while. Go grocery shopping, install basement trim. I'm finishing the basement. I need to make an eye doctor appointment. There's just all these things that need to be done. And I could hire a virtual assistant and maybe I will, maybe it's time to do all of those things, even schedule the appointments to have someone come in and do the work that still needs to be done in the basement. So I don't even have to deal with it. So I challenge you to write out your to-do list, also called your distraction list, and review what's on it. What must you do of the things that are on this list? What do you want to do? What can be removed from the list as unnecessary? To whom can you delegate some tasks? Which tasks will you delegate? And who can you pay to do some of the things? So you may find after you go through this exercise that and hopefully you will find, you're able to focus better and you don't feel overwhelmed by the amount of things that need to be done. And you find that you have more time for doing the things that are important to you. So I am so glad that you tuned in today. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Thanks.